Are you experiencing it? Massive upward movements. It's real. It's happening to the gold and silver price. We're going to talk about all the reasons why in this video. We're also going to talk about big news stories that will continue to impact the price of silver and gold. Warren Buffett has something to say that alone will provide massive support to the precious metals as we move into the coming months, quarters, and years. Big breaking news in terms of legal tender legislation. And of course, we got to talk about what's going on with China and a lot more. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the basement. This is not possible without you. We love to talk about gold and silver. I want you to feel like you have a little gold and silver home away from home. So let's start by talking about what's going on in Missouri with legal tender, with gold and silver, because we have some breaking news there. This comes from our friends at the Citizens for Sound Money, who tell us yesterday, huge win for sound money. The Constitutional Money Act attached to HB 754 has officially passed the Missouri House. Now it's heading to Governor Keough's desk for signature, one step closer to restoring gold and silver as legal tender in the Show Me state. But it gets even more interesting when we go to the Missouri Freedom Initiative, who's covering the story also, but highlights that Missouri's bill also carried a clause to prevent state and federal government confiscation of gold and silver, which no other state has done before. This is on the way to Governor Mike Keough's desk. So why is this important? Oh, hold on here, guys. I think we're having a little technical problems. Are we back? Here we go. We're back. Sorry about that. Hopefully we're still live and you guys can all see me and hear me. It's a big deal to us as gold and silver investors for one simple reason, right? It gives you the right to use gold and silver, to hold gold and silver, to store value in gold and silver, and it is sweeping across the country. It's been going on for the last several years. Legal tender legislation in Missouri is just the next. Now let's talk about silver breakout. Let's talk about, sorry, I almost forgot. $60 silver. Yeah, that's right. You saw it on the thumbnail, correct? I believe by April 1st of next year, 2026, we will have $60 silver. Now remember, right? Remember, we used to talk about gold going to 3,000, 3,500. Those numbers have already been met, and people would scoff at us. I got all types of insults hurled at me a year and a half, 2 years ago when I talked about gold getting to $3,000 or $3,500. We're there. Okay. It's happening. Silver, I believe, now don't make any financial decisions based on what I say, but I feel based on all of my analysis and research that we will have $60 silver by April 1st of 2026. Let's go take a look at somebody else who I believe agrees with us. And this is a chart from our friend Rashad, but let's just read what he has to say first. He said, silver is looking very bullish, in my opinion. After forming a false breakdown, silver is back within 15-month formation. False breakdowns almost always lead to legitimate breakouts. Let's give silver another chance. And let's take a closer look here at this chart and what we see. Let's get the crayons out here. This area right here is what he's talking about, the false breakout, which was just a little bit ago. Now we are back within I call it a triangle, but I think a wedge is more appropriate. And guys, today with what's going on, we are up in this area. We could go flying much higher. We know that we have the world's biggest, longest, most powerful cup and handle formation ever in the silver market. And let's head out to our friends at CNBC and get an update on the gold and silver price. Wow, gold in the futures market up $96 per ounce. Silver up almost 90 cents per ounce. Incredible movement and activity going on right now within these markets. Now, guys, just a few days ago, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. I told you likely so. I never say that my predictions are absolutely going to come true, but we hit a rough patch in the markets a few days back. Remember what we talked about? The Chinese market was on holiday. It was their Chinese Labor Day market. And I said in the past what we've experienced. Do you remember seeing this? That when China shuts their metals markets down, it gives a perfect opportunity for those traders at the LBMA and the COMEX to manipulate the price down. And that's exactly what we saw. Let's go out to the Silver Academy, because this is fascinating piece of research that they are sharing with us. Headline from the Silver Academy. The final stand, breaking silver's chains in a rigged system. China's markets were recently closed for 5 days due to the Labor Day holiday, which began on April 30th. The market reopened last night. That was Monday. And guess what? Silver started soaring. Here's why. Silver's paper trap, how the West's fake metal market suppresses prices. People have spent decades researching this. It is finally now, I believe, starting to get some more mainstream attention. Here's the smoking gun. Over 90% of silver's price gains occur during Eastern Hemisphere trading hours. That would be in China, when the Shanghai Gold Exchange dominates with physical bullion transactions. Conversely, 90% of the metal's declines What? Oh, shoot. Okay, sorry, guys. You heard me say it. I forgot to share it. There we go. There's the Silver Academy. I read all this all to you already. Basically, 90% of silver's gains occur during China's trading hours, and conversely, 90% of its declines happen during COMEX and LBMA hours in New York and London, where paper contracts dwarf real metal by a staggering 250 to 1 ratio. This isn't free market economics, it's financial engineering, okay? While the Shanghai Gold Exchange settles trades in tangible silver, COMEX and LBMA operate as a derivative casino. Banks like JP Morgan Chase fined $920 million in 2020 for spoofing silver markets, flood exchanges with unbacked paper silver futures. These contracts, equivalent to 378 times annual mining output, create an artificial surplus that suppresses prices. So look, what better proof do we have that when the Chinese markets are closed, the metals prices get tamped down? But when the Western markets have to face competition, when the Chinese markets reopen, right, suddenly, did you notice that? Prices skyrocket. Right? It's incredible what's going on. And it shows us, right, as China becomes more dominant in the metals trades, that we can look forward to even higher prices for gold and silver. Don't forget, we're going to talk about Warren Buffett. I'm saving that for last. What he's saying that's going to make the gold and silver prices have robust support for the coming months, quarters, and years. While we're talking about China, let's just go out and take a look at the actual gold and silver price in the Chinese markets. This comes from our friend the Oriental Ghost, who on a daily basis gives us this wonderful blue chart, which gives prices of gold and silver in the SGE. For those of you who are new, I just want to point this out. The SGE is the Shanghai Gold Exchange. Okay, AG, as you can see there, that is the periodic element symbol for silver, closed at $35. All right, that's in price in US dollars. You can see right there, $35.42. Hold on here. Let me go back to the futures market. Oh my gosh, in the futures market in the United States, as you can see, silver's only at $33.35, even though it's up a full dollar today. All right, let's go back here. And here we go. Let's check out gold. And where is gold on the Shanghai? There it is right there, right? The gold price is at $3,415. Now, the big difference, the big key takeaway here is, and it was mentioned in that article by the Silver Academy is the absolute fact that the Shanghai Gold Exchange is a physical market. Okay, so that price that you just saw, over $35 per ounce for silver, is the physical silver price, right? Base, that's the base in China. It's a physical market. The COMEX and the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, right? Those are paper, right? Levered up 200, 300 times, however you want to look at it. It's make-believe, right? It's paper silver. The real silver price in China is taking a dominant position in the metals markets, is almost a full $2 per ounce higher or more than the spot price here in the United States. We've seen it happen before where the price in China gets as high as 14%, 15% higher. This tells us the reason why we want to pay attention to this is because this tells us what the real price for real physical silver is in the real market, the dominant metals market, the emerging leader in precious metals, which happens to be China at this point. It's getting crazy. Let's go look at, while we're out here, let's go take a look at what we are seeing. How many ounces are being traded on the electronics markets? This comes from the dude who puts this great data out every day. And as we can see, as of yesterday, the silver market traded 187 million paper ounces. That's the COMEX and the LBMA. So that's actually low. We see oftentimes that number get as high as 400 million or 500 million ounces. But nonetheless, think about this. That's still in one day, 25% of the world's entire mining output of silver. The entire year mining output of silver, 25% of it being traded electronically in one day. Hey, I want to say thank you to channel sponsor Ledger. Ledger is the hardware wallet, cryptocurrency security leader, and our friends at MoonPay, right? They're a leading fintech company. You can actually buy digital tokenized gold now on the MoonPay platform, XAUT. That's from Tether. Tether is the company that's also behind the USDT stablecoin. Check it out. MoonPay and Ledger, thank you for sponsoring Ron's Basement. Now let's talk about, guys, what did Warren Buffett shocked the world, but Warren Buffett said some things that I believe are very, very optimistic and bullish for the silver markets and gold markets. They just had their big annual convention. 20,000 people went to Omaha to hear Warren Buffett speak. He shocked everyone by announcing his retirement, but he said something even more shocking that every precious metals investor needs to listen to. And I'm going to explain to you right now the reasons why. See if we can find, there it is. Here we go. In yellow. Whoop, wrong sheet. Sorry, guys. Hold on here. We're having some technical issues today. Okay, here we go. In yellow. Warren Buffett says the dollar is going to hell. Invest in local currencies. Don't worry. We're going to dig into this. There's Warren. Goodbye, Warren. He's going to be retiring soon. Okay, so he said this on Sunday that his investment arm is considering entry positions in foreign currencies and bluntly said that the US dollar could be going to hell. There's more. Don't you worry. He also said, highlighted in yellow, we would not really invest in a currency, meaning the US dollar, that is going to hell. The billionaire added that a currency's value can be a very scary thing, especially when governments act without restraint. There's more. There is more. But first, I want to look at you. That's Warren Buffett, like the poster child for invest in America. It's the greatest country in the world, saying that there could be issues with the US dollar. That's a big, big, big deal, right? And do you agree with him? I do. Right? That our leaders are acting right now without restraint. This is sending a warning shot. This is Warren Buffett. Nobody questions Warren Buffett, right? Warren Buffett's like the godfather of investing in the United States, who has always been absolutely pro-America. And we're getting a message from him now, a big warning about the US dollar. We'll talk more about that, but let's get back to the article and see if he had anything else to say. Oh, he did. Last thing, the ace investor criticized the U.S. fiscal behavior, calling it alarming. That's what he's referring to as the overspending by our government, and questioned the long-term strength of the dollar. Buffett then went ahead, hinting that Berkshire Hathaway could take entry positions in foreign currencies next. Quote, there could be things happening in the United States that make us want to own a lot of other currencies. Guys, we don't have to pull it up. You know, we've looked at it, right? The U.S. debt clock. Oh, yeah, I guess we do need to pull it up. Let's pull it up quickly. We'll spend just a few seconds here. Here's the U.S. debt clock. This right here is what he's talking about. Let's go yellow. Orangish yellow. Anyway, this, right, what I'm circling on your screen, almost $37 trillion in national debt is what he's talking about. Fiscal irresponsibility. Excuse me, on the part of our leaders. What does that mean for the gold price and silver price measured in dollars as we go forward? Guys, there's only one way out of that predicament that we just looked at, and that is printing money, devaluing the currency, however you want to slice it or dice it, right? Everybody looks at the DXY index, and sure, it's important. And yes, it will have a short-term impact on the metals price. But the big picture is this. All the world major fiat currencies are awash in debt. The US dollar, right? What's it based on? It's not based on silver or gold. It's based on debt. It's based on promises. And the world appears to be waking up to the fact that the United States has put itself in a position where it might start to have a little problem fulfilling all of those promises, or at least fulfilling them with a dollar that has the value that it had traditionally had in the past. Now, tomorrow, we're going to hear from the Federal Reserve. It'll be interesting to hear the language. Excuse me, that Jerome Powell, our old friend at the Federal Reserve, gives us regarding their guidance on future monetary policy. But at the end of the day, we can listen to Warren Buffett. We can look at what's going on in the Chinese markets, okay? And we can see, right, that we are moving into an environment which is super conducive to silver and gold prices. We can get all fancy and look at all kinds of different charts, and we do that from time to time. But really, don't you feel it like it's common sense right now when you kind of aggregate everything that you're seeing happening in the world on a geopolitical level, on a fiscal level, on a monetary policy level? When we put it all together, I can sit here with complete confidence and make a prediction, right, that for silver alone, we will see $60 per ounce by April 1st. And that's not April Fool's Day for silver, 2026. It's coming, it's happening, and it's a real thing. Hey, before we go, I wanted to mention to everybody, don't forget, check out the Dirty Man Safe, okay? Right? If you've got something that you want to keep safe and secure, go learn about the Dirty Man Safe. I love these things. This is actually the Dirty Girl Safe. Oh, and don't forget, there's a discount code there. You can use RON10. You get to bury these in your yard. Keeps, like the pirates did, right? Gives you a place to keep your valuables safe and sound underground. I have nothing against safes. I have nothing against safety deposit box. I have nothing against hiding stuff in the rafters in your house, right? But it's a good way to diversify and to add another layer of security to your plan that you have to store whatever it is you may be storing that you may consider valuable. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of this community. It is not possible without you. We are in for a wild ride, guys. These next 10 years, look, I was wrong. I thought 2024 was going to be crazy. I'm telling you, the way things are shaping up, 2025 has been crazy, and I think will continue to be crazier as we go through these coming years and even decade. I want what's best. I don't want to be like, scary, right? We don't want things to become too unhinged, but as we take a look at what's going on out there, we know we want to be prepared. I'll look forward to seeing you again here in the basement. Know that you're always welcome. Take care, and I will see you, yes, you, soon.